Hi, this is number 9. I know you think it should be number 8, but the thing is, the last one was labeled as number 7 and actually should have been 8. And the one before that one said it was number 6, but it should have been 7 because the one before that was number 6. And that's how numbers work, kids. Now you know. Thanks to the next episode of me reading. Thanks to the next episode. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for stopping by. You can go home. You know, I appreciate your service, your attendance, whatever. This is number 9 in my series, my whatever. This is the 9th time I'm doing this. Sunday, February 19th, 1989, 7:10 p.m. Guess what? You'll never, ever believe this in a million years. I'm not going to move. I wrote in like big letters. I was so excited. I'm not going to move. You see, my dad left yesterday morning on his way to Virginia to find us a house. He was crying really hard when he left. Well, around 8 p.m., Lisa came over and said that Daddy was on the phone and that he may have some good news. So Mama left to go talk to him. When Mama got back, I was in the tub and she said, "Well, you can have your boyfriend forever because Daddy's on his way home and he's changed his mind and he said we're not moving." I put quotes there, but I don't have any end quotes. Oh, wait, no, I did. I found them. Daddy's on his way home and he's changed his mind and said we're not moving. He said he cried real hard all the way to Sedalia and can't handle being away from us for so long. He was in Kentucky at the time, 40 miles from the West Virginia border. Can you believe it? Can you, letter U, believe it? It's weird. I mean, it was his idea all along, but I'm so glad and happy. How should I tell Stephen, though? I'm not going to say straight out that I'm not moving. I want to kind of keep him in suspense, you know. I think I'll go through with the Valentine's Day plan and all. And I think I'll go through with the Valentine's Day plan and tell him then. What do you think? Details later. Still TONIA at the bottom. Still don't know what the Valentine's Day plan is. I don't remember. I'm very upset about it. Probably involved kissing. Guess what? One question mark and 3 exclamation marks after. Can you even see that? I don't, like other people, look, get to see the whole entry. Look at that. I think it's reversed, mirrored. Maybe I should turn the mirroring off so that you can read. That might be a nice thing to do for y'all. Here, you know what? Can I do that while I'm in the video? Let's get fancy. Video settings. Bum, bum, bum. Look at this, which means it's going to look really weird to me. I know this is in here somewhere. Mirror my video. It was literally like one of the first settings, and I just kind of went right on past it because it's kind of gal I am. So, are we ready? Bum, 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 bum. Bing. This is what it really looks like. Not mirror me anymore. Now you know. My secret is out. My knee keeps hitting the table. So now I can, let me kind of focus on that second page. I don't know what I'm doing here. Well, anyways, I'm waiting. Whatever, you see it. If I were really super fancy, I would like scan all of these pages, but I don't have a flatbed scanner, A, and B. It's a lot of pages, and baby ain't got no time for that. So, oh my God, February 19th, we're not going to move. Isn't that great? I do remember my dad leaving and getting in the car and driving and him crying. The funny thing is, he said he couldn't be away from us for that long. Wait a minute, maybe I'm remembering something incorrectly. What am I thinking about? Because he did leave us to go. No, he wouldn't have left us from. I remember him going and being gone. Maybe it wasn't that time because I feel like I remember that was when we left Missouri. Because I mean, when we left Missouri, this is Missouri. When we left Rich Hill, I think he went ahead of us. I just totally remember us being without him for a short while. Couldn't have been very long. It doesn't make any sense. You know, my memory is really great when it comes to certain things. And I guess sometimes it just isn't. Because when we moved from Missouri the first time, we moved from Missouri to Virginia and then to Jacksonville. And I remember my mom always saying we went 10 states in 10 days. So let me pull up my little map here, Google Maps, and we'll zoom out and we'll count the states. So there's Missouri, Illinois, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. So yeah, 10 states in 10 days. But then we went back. I don't really remember. Why would we have driven through Virginia to get back to Missouri? Makes no sense to me whatsoever. I had to pause because I was coughing. I got a tickle in my throat. I had to go get some Sprite. So yeah, I do remember him leaving. I really don't remember him leaving and turning around and coming back. We didn't have a phone at our house, apparently, because Lisa came and told us. Remember the house we lived in Garden City? It's still there. Lots of memories of that place. Lots of memories. Lived in this big house, had a wraparound porch, was right across the street from the First Baptist Church. And, you know, all my friends went to the First Baptist, all my friends in Garden City went to First Baptist. Dropped my book, so, you know, please bear with me. My terrible production design, whatever. So we lived across the street from the church, and Shauna went there, and she tried getting me to go to church with her for the longest time. Shauna and Connie both went there, and I'm just like, no, I'm not interested, you know, blah, blah, blah. And ultimately, I gave in and I went. And I fucking loved it. I loved it. I went to church on Wednesday night for choir practice. I went on Friday, went on Saturday, went on Sunday. Like I spent the whole weekend at the church practically. Sunday afternoons, we had Bible study on my porch. I prayed every night. I was trying so hard to find God back then. And the pastor and his wife were really nice. I can't remember his name. I feel like we called him Brother John. I didn't call him Father John. I called him Brother John. He had cerebral palsy, and we had a youth minister we also called Brother Mike. Oh my God, was Mike so hot. I have no idea how old he was, but let me tell you, we put him through the ringer. We used to make him blush so hard. And he talked a lot with his hands. He was very, very, very animated with his hands. And we'd tease him about it. So he would sit on his hands and try not to talk, or try to talk, but try not to use his hands. He'd get so flustered. And I remember we were such rotten little shitheads. We had some kind of event at the church and we were in the basement. Maybe it was the night we did like a spaghetti dinner or something. I don't know. But me and Shauna and Connie, Connie was a ninth grader and she lived in the same uh, little neighborhood of the town that Shauna lived in. And we all went to the same church. And Connie was a little bit of a slut, if I'm honest, but she was just doing the things that I wanted to do. I mean, really, she had like huge tits. Poor girl had the worst complexion. I mean, like she had like very bad, and as an adult, I know painful cystic acne. But she was so cute and so fucking sweet to her core. She was so sweet. Um, and anyways, so Connie had a hickey on her neck. And, her jacket was kind of pulled up. And we started joking about hickeys and calling them mosquito bites. So we were like, fussing around with our necks, acting like we were scratching it at mosquito bites. But we were talking about hickeys and we were being very suggestive and we were just being rotten to that poor guy. But I'm telling you, I could have hit that. I would, because I was all about trying to get it. But anyways, this is about church. Church is wholesome, right? No, no, because we had church lock-ins. We had 2 lock-ins, I remember. I thought I wrote about one in here, but maybe it's in an upcoming entry and I just don't remember. I really wanted Stephen to come to a lock-in with me. And I'll tell you that I scoped out the church. I knew where all of the hidden nooks and crannies were. And the only reason I wanted to have Stephen at the lock-in was so that we could have sex. I had it all planned out. Like, I wanted to have sex in the baptismal pool or whatever thing it was called. There was this closet under the stairs. There were all kinds of places. And the thing is, we did have a couple of lock-ins, and people were found, in places they shouldn't have been. Stephen was never able to come, unfortunately. So I never got those experiences, but oh my God, was I ready? I was trying my damnedest to set them up. And I was really into going to church there. I tried really fucking hard to find God and to believe in Jesus. I think I might have even gone forward and given myself to Christ. And I had because I was I don't know if I actually had a date set, but we had already started talking about my baptism and everything. And I was just totally into it. I went to Sunday school, after Sunday school and before the actual service or whatever. I actually every Sunday did a little puppet show, like wrote a little puppet show, and try to make the puppets. I'm sure we had the puppets, but then, we had puppets about probably a Bible verse or Bible story or something that I don't remember. But I really loved those people. And I really connected with my Sunday school teachers, the woman named Barbara Spinning. And like she and I wrote letters after I moved away, which spoiler alert, I moved away. And I remember at one point asking her about Dungeons and Dragons. And I didn't even know what Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, wait, no, I didn't ask her about Dungeons and Dragons. She was telling me about her son, Chris, who was so hot. I had a massive crush on him. He was a bad boy, and he drove a gorgeous blue Chevy Nova SS. I don't know what year it was because I'm not that kind of girl, not a car person. I used to know though, for a little while I did. Oh my God, I thought he and that car were so hot. And I don't know, somehow we were talking one day and she was telling me about troubles that she'd had with him with drugs and everything. And I remember her telling me it was because of Dungeons and Dragons. And I thought Dungeons and Dragons was like a video game or something. Like I'd watched a cartoon, I had no idea what Dungeons and Dragons was. But she blamed it on that and said that, they got really deep into these characters or something. Ridiculous. I'm pretty sure I still have the letters from her packed up in a box somewhere because I have so many letters and stuff. Maybe at some point I'll go dig that stuff out. Probably be more relevant now, but so what's the point I was getting at? I'm not even high, y'all. I have not hit my vape at all today. I'm just naturally rambling like this. So the church or the house was across the street from the church. On Google Earth, that church is still there. It is an empty building. Now they have a fancy brand new church on, a few blocks away. And I don't know why that building is sitting there derelict and unused. But what else could I tell you about the house? It had a big wraparound porch. It had a big living room with a bay window. I do have some pictures that I'm not going to dig out right now, but I will share. I'll try to get those out for an upcoming video just to, kind of bring them up and share them to you. Big wraparound porch, the living room with a big bay window, which I loved. And we put our Christmas tree in the window. And my walk in, it's the living room, and then there's like a little hallway, and then my mom and dad's room was there downstairs, and there was this narrow ass staircase going upstairs. And then you go into the dining room, and then there was the kitchen, and then the bathroom, and we had a big clawfoot tub that did not have a shower, so we had like a hose thing that you hooked up with a shower head to the faucet, and that's how we showered and bathed or whatever. I could tell you lots of other stories about that bathtub and that shower, but we're not gonna talk about those kind of stories, maybe right now. Um, let's just say I have been intimately acquainted with the pleasure of a steady stream of water since my early childhood. And you can just leave it to your imagination. Anyway, and then when you go up this narrow staircase, there was like this landing kind of place. And then there was go up and there was my bedroom. And in my bedroom, I had like a built-in desk and armoire, like the ceilings were sloped and it was like built in. And then there was like a closet on this side and like a dresser thing on this side, and then a desk in the middle. And I had a big window that faced out on the church. And then across the hall was the room that was going to be my sister's room. But when we moved in, the walls were white. I don't remember if they were plaster or if they were painted white, but I will never forget there were drawings on the wall, like Sharpie drawings. It was just markers. And there were all of these strange creatures, like woodland creatures and stuff. There was a deer. Don't remember a lot of details about the deer. There was a tree with a man standing behind the tree and peeking out. And the man behind the tree was labeled Chester the Molester. There was a bee that had a really big abdomen that was named Stick It In Stan. Oh my God, I feel like there was something for the deer too. And I don't remember much else. I mean, because, the bears tried to keep us out of there, for some reason. Can't imagine why. And eventually my dad like knocked down all the walls and put up drywall. And then my sisters could use that as their bedroom. But until then, their room was like the little landing area, which was it was a full-size room. It just had the staircase coming up into it. Don't remember there being a bathroom upstairs. I don't think there was. I think it was just those 3 rooms. Those dirty pictures. Things we remember. Oh my God, the deer. I can like picture the deer. Did it have a pussy or something? I don't know. Weird stuff. I don't know anything about the person that we rented from or any of that stuff, but some things you never forget. And, my dad had all kinds of plans to fix up the house and paint it. I mean, we were just renting, but I guess maybe we thought about buying it or something. And it had a garage, I think a 2-car garage, if I remember correctly. And it was the only house on that block because the plot of land was like a triangle. There was like and the, so the church was right here and the house was right here. And then like a highway ran up this side, and you take that highway, you walk up that, and that's how I would get to Heather's house. Not that y'all need to know all of those ideas, all of those details. Words that just get mixed up in my brain. I really loved that house. I really, really loved that house. Of all the places we lived in my childhood. And I'm 47 years old, and I've lived in no less than 47 residences for sure. I have a list. Do I have that list here accessible? I believe I do. Ding. Somebody wants my attention. It's probably my game. because I was working on, oh, you know what? I have this folder. I thought I had this folder bookmarked because I was working on a memoir, and I was dictating it, and my friend was being my she's a stenographer, and she was transcribing it. My transcriber. That's the word I was looking for. Oh, excuse me. That's in my spreadsheet. Is it in my big spreadsheet? No, did I update this to have everything? No, that's my financial spreadsheet. I have another spreadsheet that's got all of this stuff in it because spreadsheets are the best, y'all. Oh, wait, this one's 30 minutes long already. I might need, oh, but that includes when I paused to go to the restroom and to get a drink. So maybe the spreadsheet will ever load up, I can tell you, because I have a list of all the places I've lived in my life that I can remember, including up to this place right now. We're at the end of our 4th year here. The house we lived in before we lived here, we lived for 3 years. The house before that, we lived there for 7 years. The house before that, I lived in for 5 years. So 5 plus 7 is 12, plus 3 is 15, plus 4 is 19. It's almost 20 years in 4 houses. So that leaves a lot of other houses for the first 27 years of my life. Okay, here we go. Addresses. Let's look at this list. I have got this house right here is number 46. Okay, I'm sorry. That was not quite right. But I also, there's some I don't remember. Let's see, I was born here in Jacksonville to McClenny, to Jacksonville, to Timberville, Virginia, to Harrisonburg, Virginia, to Jacksonville, to Rich Hill, Missouri, to Jacksonville, to Middleburg, Virginia, to Front Royal, Virginia, to Garden City, Missouri, to Berryville, Virginia, to Jacksonville. So, yep, 46 houses. Lived in a lot of different places. So, that's all I have to say about that. We're going to go ahead and cut it off now. Thanks for watching.